अस्सलाम वालेकुम। प्रोग्राम एम्बेसी रोड में खुश आमदीद। नाज़रीन, आज हमारे इस प्रोग्राम में हमारे मेहमान हैं पाकिस्तान में यमन के सफ़ीर जनाब मोहम्मद मुताहर अश-शाबी, और उनसे हम गुफ्तगू करेंगे पाकिस्तान और यमन के ताल्लुकात के हवाले से। इसके अलावा आपको मालूम है कि यमन इस वक्त बहरान का शिकार है, वहाँ पे एक खाना जंगी है और हूथी कबाइल जो हैं वो इस वक्त बगावत पे आमादा है और एक अरसे से एक बहरान जो है यमन में जारी है। इस हवाले से भी हम सफ़ीर साहब से पूछेंगे कि उनके मुल्क की दाखिली सूरत हाल क्या है। Ambassador, thank you very much for joining us in this program.
Thank you very much for your generous introduction. About I realized some words from it.
Thank you so much.
And you and the channel are most welcome in the Yemeni house.
My pleasure. Would you like, Ambassador, to familiarize our viewers about the situation in Yemen now? Because we keep reading in newspapers and sometimes we watch on TV that there is a crisis in Yemen, and some rebels in Yemen, they are trying to destroy the peace and they are trying to damage the stability of your country.
Well, that's it's a big issue, no doubt, and thank you very much for asking this question. Yemen actually was ruled by the ex-president Ali Abdullah Saleh for 33 years, and no outcomes from his ruling except poverty, except unemployment, and deterioration of the law and order in the country. So people find it in that is Arabic Spring, what you call Arabic Spring, as an opportunity to make a change, because and to change the system in the way that is in the way of decentralization of the system, centralizing the system and making all power in the hand of one person, one place. It is it's agony of the people. Plus the wealth, which is actually it is little, and the distribution of power and wealth. So there was a peaceful demonstration against him in Sana'a, and all the Yemeni cities broke out, started by youth. The youth, actually, the unemployment rate among them, it was around approaching 50%. Actually, there is no jobs, and there are no jobs. And also the poverty line, we are approaching. We are at the that is international record of development. 100. We were in 2010 139 of 160. So how is we are in the last? And Yemen is not a poor country in reality. It is has big it's a big area of land and of the sea. We are actually
it's a port.
It's port, yes. So we are around 2,300 kilometers on the sea. We are facing the fees from the Arabic Sea and the that is and the Red Sea. So we have one of the very important street in the world. This is Bab al-Mandab Street. So we are actually we are the administration makes and the bad governance make the country poor, and so there was against him uprising against him in 2011. So and that was of course bring a country in the verge of in the age of the war, civil war. So there was some mediation from the GCC countries. That is, it will be what it called the GCC initiative, as you heard, and its mechanism to make change of what we transferring of power peacefully from the president to another person.
President Saleh.
President Saleh.
Yeah.
So in 2012, according to this initiative, all parties and those who were the leaders of those who went into the streets accepted this initiative. So it is just what you call it, not satisfactory solution, but it is acceptable. It is consensus one. So according to this, the election people elected the new president, that is President Hadi, who is the current president, Abdul Mansur Hadi. And the second step, it was that is to go for comprehensive national dialogue. We went, and so the all segment of the society participated in this comprehensive for 1 year approximately. So it was about to finish. Even the Houthis were among those who rose up against Saleh. They fought him 6 times actually.
The Houthis.
The Houthis, they were actually. I will come to this point.
Please.
Yeah, I will come to it. So the Houthis, they were in the north. They have their own demands. So in 2011, they were participants of this peaceful demonstration, and they were also participant in the national dialogue. They were one of 16 parties, and
the Houthis.
Yeah, one of 16
Yes.
participating in the national conference. This comprehensive national dialogue, it was actually participated by the also women and the youth, as well as the old segment society. This is 30% for them, for the ladies, and 30% for the youth. So it is a consensus, what you call it, consensus dialogue among the whole segment of the society.
Right.
So we have the problem of the south due to the bad management of President Saleh. The same. Yeah, we integrated both in one country in 1990. In May 22nd, but unfortunately his bad management reached us to this position. We went in war in 1994, and again people were against those who want to secession, who want to separate the country from divide the country north and south. So it didn't succeed that time, but the agony and the grievances of the bad rule, it reached you to this position. So we're supposed to finish the national dialogue. All states went under the guardian and the auspice of the baton of the United Nations. So all this, we were supported by the United Nations, but
Yes.
even the United Nations Security Council held one of its sessions in Sana'a to support. Yeah, they came to Sana'a to support and everybody was admiring the Yemeni, what you call it, style of change.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, in September, the Houthi were preparing for another. They were in the dialogue. They were in the dialogue and they were outside. They were preparing for the war. They started from the north, capturing camps and so on to weaken the state, and even till they reached in September 14 to Sana'a. The president he was actually betting on the peace. So he said, I will give them a chance. They will not. So he let, even though he went to Sana'a, they didn't know there was no fight against him. They said, okay, you finish and you.
But Ambassador, when did this foreign interference start in Yemen? Because the Houthis are now getting weapons from Iran and maybe some other countries, and they are out up in arms against the government, and they are creating problems.
This is, I will just give you a story so that the audience, the people doesn't know exactly the story. Yeah. So they were partner in the comprehensive dialogue, but unfortunately they were preparing for another agenda, that is to broke onto the capital and to capture the power. With the ex-president,
Ex-President Saleh.
See, he for 33 years, he has some para-military, he has para, this Republican Guard was beside him. That is before so he has para-military still with him, and even he is behind the scene, but he is also leading a big party in the country. And 2014, September, the Houthis broke on with their militia to Sana'a. They captured the capital. Even though there was a peace accord with them, that is to continue, but they cannot stand the peace actually. They want the power. They are minority. So they demolished the institutions one by one, the 86 institutions. So the institutions...
So what is the percentage of Houthi population in the total population of Yemen?
Well, it is not more than 5% actually. But since they captured the state one by one, so what you call it, so it was easy for them to swallow and then they grown. I mean, recruiting the young people, unemployed people, it is easy. Then it's open.
So who was providing them the money and the weapons to organize this war in Yemen? And they started capturing the capital and other cities.
They have different source of financing. First, no doubt, there was, of course, the only country recognized them today is only Iran. Our brothers in Iran, the only country defending them and both them. They are the formal government in Yemen. They got support and they prepared themselves from years, and they captured the institution one by one. So they captured the arms. And because we were a big army, you have so slowly they swallow and with the coalition of the ex-president,
right.
Unfortunately, they thrown the government on.
Excellency, the Saudi-led coalition that was formed, the military coalition, and it is now operating in Yemen.
Only after 6 months from the Houthis when we were in Sana'a.
Right.
Not before that.
Okay, but this coalition, it has been, in operation for quite some time. They have used Air Force to degrade and destroy the Houthis' bases and also to weaken them militarily. But it looks that, still they are not being controlled, or they have not been brought under control.
Well, just the shift in 2015, they broke onto they overthrown the government and they both the president, the government elected, that is the consensus government, on the house arrest, and they announced their offer. This is a coup, total coup, military coup with the ex-president. So that, and then they they started to capture the government one till another, and after another, till they reach Aden. The president, after 1 month from his detention, he could go to Aden, and from Aden he regained his power. And from then the Houthis and militias, Houthis, Saleh, they carry their what you call it, their military activities toward all the governments till they reach. And when they reach Aden, the president, and they refuse the call by the president for dialogue to finish this, to end this. The crisis will be big. But there is no air to listen, so he asked, according to his constitutional rights and power, to ask the Arab country and to assist to the coalition interfere after 6 months.
Right.
And the strike, of course, they were capturing around 80%, and now they squeezed to around 20%. But it is in the heart of the country, with very populated area. And right. Any battle in that area, it will be damageable.
But despite this intervention by the Saudi-led coalition in Yemen, it looks that the peace is not still there. The situation is not stable. We keep hearing that the dialogue is going to take place and a peaceful solution will be found to this crisis, the Yemen crisis, but it's not happening.
That's right, yes. Well, the government went and accepted all initiatives by United Nations upon the 3 references, that is the GCC initiative, the outcome of the comprehensive dialogue, national dialogue, and upon the United Nations resolutions on this issue. The 2216 is a roadmap to Yemen. The government accepted, welcome. It went to Geneva 1 and to Bill in Switzerland, and went to Kuwait to find the solution according to these references. But unfortunately, till today, the Houthis, Saleh, they refused to receive the United Nations representative in Wald al-Sheikh. this is not, government is seeking peace, because the agony of people will continue unless there is peace. And the Houthis are Yemenis. Saleh are Yemenis actually. At the end, they should come to the table.
To the negotiation table.
Yeah,
but they are not.
But they are not.
We'll take a short break, Excellency,
Please.
and then we'll come back and continue this discussion. नाज़रीन एक मुख्तर ब्रेक लेते हैं. ब्रेक से वापसी के बाद हम पाकिस्तान में यमन के सफ़ीर से बातचीत का ये सिलसिला जो है इसे जारी रखेंगे. वेलकम बैक. हमारी गुफ्तगू जारी है पाकिस्तान में यमन के सफ़ीर से. वो हमें बता रहे हैं कि यमन का जो बहरान है उसकी क्या वजूह है, उसके पीछे क्या मुहर्रिकात हैं और किस तरह सूरत हाल जो है वहाँ पे ख़राब हुई और अब क्या किया जा रहा है कि वहाँ इस्तेकाम लाया जाए. Now the Houthis who are up in arms and they are creating problem in Yemen, they are being supported by Iran, and the other Arab countries accuse Iran of interfering in Yemen. So why Iran is interested in Yemen? Why they are interfering in your country?
Thank you very much. Well, unfortunately, this is what's happening. From our brother in Iran, these Houthis, among their slogans, that is, they want to liberalize their goods through Al-Madinah and Mecca. That's mean to finish first Saudi Arabia and then to Mecca and Medina. This is a bad story and bad message. Unfortunately, our brothers in Iran, they are the only country recognize Houthi and support them. If just watch to their TV, watch their what you call it, their political and media speech. It will show you which directions.
The Houthis?
No, I mean the Iranians.
Iranian.
Yeah, support the Houthis.
Okay.
Yeah. So they want to fight. They want to fight Saudi Arabia from Yemen. Of course, the Houthis are not wise that they are what you call it, they are committing suicide. Committing suicide of Yemen and Yemeni society, internally and outside and externally. So it is support us during all the years, and support in 2011 and 12 they submit us also even with oil, and they tried to they did their best not the country to go in a war. Of course, they have their own national security interest,
yes.
And national security as well.
And
so
you share your borders with Saudi Arabia.
We have
That's very important.
It is around 2,000. It is not
2,000 kilometers.
Around 2,000. Around 2,000, 1,800 something. So it is big. We are only bordering by two, by Saudi Arabia and Oman. Saudi Arab brothers, so they support us. Even the ex-president, when it happened, that is, there was an attempt to assassinate him by bomb. They treat him in
yeah, he came to Saudi Arabia for treatment because he had received injury in the head.
Yes,
and his face was burned.
It is bad attack against him, because you this is not the way of removing power, or reaching the power. It is through ballot. Through the consensus, and that's what condemnable by all segments of the society at that time. But even Saudis were supporting us. Till today they are supporting us.
But Excellency, yes, Saudis are supporting, and there's a coalition. I think the GCC countries are also there to support you. UAE, for instance, is supporting
No
you.
doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, but do you think that Iran is so strong? I mean, if 5% of the population of Yemen, the Houthis, they are being supported by Iran through weapons, through military training, etc. But the other forces who are pitched against Iran in Yemen, they have not been able to throw out the Iranian influence or weed out the Iranian influence from Yemen.
Well, you see, it is not the Houthis, it is coalition now between them and Saleh. So it's big ball. It's a big ball. And they control where the heart of the country. And they are exercising their activities inside the populated area, civil society. So they are using people as a shield. They don't care about the life of the people. Every one of this, their slogan it is, we don't care. So they don't care about, this is a proxy. This is a proxy war. Yeah,
It's a
unfortunately.
proxy war, yes.
It's a proxy
But
war.
the Yemeni people are suffering.
And this is the issue. They don't care about suffering. So when the people are now internationally criticizing the situation, they want, of course, to stop the war. And the government want to stop the war, but they don't want. They want the war to be stopped according to their condition. De facto situation.
So that the rounds of talks which were held from time to time to come at a peaceful negotiated settlement of the Yemen crisis, what happened? You know, why it is not coming to a conclusion?
Unfortunately, because the condition, they are arrogant to do to make concessions. This, we are in the capital, we are doing so that is we.
They want to remain in the capital.
The capital.
Yeah.
So they want to stay with their arms if there is any dialogue. So stay with their arms. It cannot be.
What about the port of Aden?
Aden is okay working. The government is running from Aden and running from Marib. Yeah, and the government, the government forces are about 25 kilometers, in some part of the capital Sana'a. But anymore, it is difficult in Sana'a.
So how do the Iranians how are they able to provide weapons and all this support? Passing through all this area, port of Aden and everything, and then going to Sana'a.
Not port of Aden. Yemen has big, what to call it, border with the, of course, it comes from the sea. See, we have around 2,300 kilometers in the sea.
So why the forces, the coalition forces, have not been able to guard the sea, safeguard, and not interrupt any weapons being sent for these Houthis and their supporters?
It happens. I mean, if there is 100 tries and 30 succeed, it is, still horrible. I mean, it's something is, unknowable, and it is difficult to cut it 100%.
Cut the supply.
Yeah, cut supply. So there is the report said there is smuggling, and the United Nations report said there is smuggling, and the coalition, Arab coalition, there is smuggling. Otherwise, from where the sophisticated missiles was going to be thrown to Saudi Arabia? This is prolonging the war, actually, prolonging this, and then the agony of the people and the grievances. Unfortunately, due to this, the cholera broke out in Yemen. Due to this, other diseases broke out in Yemen, and these medication supplies have been sometime confiscated, sometime not allowed to go in to each.
But from this side, from Saudi Arabia side, the medicine can go.
Yeah,
and they can. The people. Recently that cholera broke out in Yemen and a lot of other diseases. The medicines and doctors could be sent from Saudi side.
Saudi Arabia supplied with this thousands of medicines, hundreds of tons, maybe 1,000. I don't have record so it's from its sides, but it's not enough. It has to be sourced from all the sides. And if there is any delay for any disaster, like health disaster, it is it's any kind of delay due to the borders, due to the inside what is between the government forces and the Houthis, it needs through the international organizations. So this is making delay actually for the supplying and also confiscation of the
right.
sometimes.
Ambassador, what is your assessment? I mean, will Yemen be stabilized in the foreseeable future, or you think that the situation will continue in future as well? This current situation very disturbing, not only for the people of Yemen but for the entire Islamic world, because we don't want to see the people of Yemen in agony and suffering from this war and civil war and killing each other. It's unfortunate.
You are right, and thank you very much for this sympathy. We feel it that we are with all levels, and there is easy solution. The war could be stopped within 1 hour if the Houthis and Saleh coalition accepted the resolution 2216
of the United Nations.
It is in their hand. It is in their hand to save Yemen.
But why the United Nations has not been able to enforce this resolution that you are talking about?
Like another resolutions. See, many resolutions have been possible. So this is the issue. And the good thing is there is no much differences, no big gaps between the international stance on this in Yemen. And we are happy with it. We appreciate it. We don't want much differences so that they don't want to say, to use any other, like situation in other countries. But no, sometimes United Nations, is use resolution, but they cannot apply it, and the arrogant party doesn't care about it. So doesn't care about the people of the agony of the people, unfortunately. But it is in the hand of the Houthi Saleh coalition within 1 hour. 1 hour.
All right, but the perception in the Islamic world and outside the Islamic world is that this is a proxy war between Saudi Arabia and Iran, and Yemen is the battleground where the two countries are fighting a proxy war, and because of this proxy war, the people of Yemen are suffering.
Well, you could, everyone read it from his own position, or from the information he received. Saudis did not, first of all, did not engage in these military activities with coalition, only opened the request of the president. And it could be stopped by the president decision. If the war, and president cannot stop it unless they stop the war or go to dialogue. It is easy. You go to dialogue. We are asking them to go to dialogue and to withdraw from the capital and the major cities on agenda program. But they are not refusing. Even Hudaida, the only port they captured. Hudaida, we asked them the government asked them to hand it over to international, to Yemeni and international surveillance. They refused. Sana'a airport, we asked them, let all the staff of the airport to run it under the surveillance of the United Nations. They refuse it. They don't care about what happened to the Yemenis, about how many...
Master, if this situation continues and persists in Yemen for a long period of time, the Saudi security itself is at stake, because as you have seen and we have seen that there were missiles fired from Yemen into Saudi Arabia, and one of the missiles, I think, fell, targeted some places quite close to Mecca, and this is very alarming.
And I don't think at all that Saudis has an interest in this war at all. No, ever. Yes. But they have been, asked by the Yemeni legitimate government, which has been Saudis continue the same policy. When Ali Abdullah Saleh was in the power, they support him. They support Yemen. When Yemen in crisis in 2012, they support Yemen. They even give us oil. They deposit money into the central bank to stabilize the currency. When the President Hadi came, they support him. When the national dialogue was there, they support us. When they tried to mediate, they were among the 10 countries and among the 18 countries who would support the Yemen.
Pakistan was a part of that.
Yeah. So, we can. And when we have been asked that there is no way only to counter Houthis. Houthis went to Aden. One direct, government after government. They broke onto the governments one after one and insulted the governments. So the president asked the assistance to the Saudis. But Saudis, they are, till today, they are, upon the request of the president. If we reach a solution, I don't think so Saudis has an interest at all.
To remain there?
No, at all, because nothing has come out from Yemen during these years, decades. So I don't think so. No, someone is happy to.
Master, we'll take another short break and then we'll continue this discussion, because this is the last part that we'll talk about bilateral relations between Yemen and Pakistan.
It's my pleasure, Mr. Nawa.
नाज़रीन एक मुख्तसर ब्रेक लेते हैं। ब्रेक से वापसी के बाद हम अपने गुफ्तगू का ये सिलसिला जारी रखेंगे यमन के सफ़ीर से। वेलकम बैक। हमारी बातचीत जारी है पाकिस्तान में यमन के सफ़ीर से। वो हमें यमन की सूरत हाल से आगाह कर रहे हैं। वहाँ पे इस वक्त एक सिविल वार की कैफियत है। यमन के लोग जो हैं वो मुसीबत में हैं और वहाँ पे बीमारियाँ भी फूट पड़ी हैं, लेकिन इस जंग की वजह से लोगों को तिब्बी इमदाद भी नहीं फराहम की जा सकती। मिस्टर, कमिंग टू पाकिस्तान यमन रिलेशंस, how do you look at Pakistan-Yemen relations at this moment?
Well, we enjoy a good relation, cordial relation between the two countries and people. I'll tell you on the people wise. When I ever meet a Pakistani and he knows that I am Yemeni, some of them hug me, especially hugs me. Especially if they know that they serve in the Arab countries. Oh, this is so we have a big sympathy towards Yemen. On the official level, it is excellent relation. We enjoy support of the Pakistani government. We reciprocate each other internationally in the supporting this this kind of support. We are sure that if Pakistan has ability to support it financially, it will support the development and in Yemen. Pakistan donated this year around 1 million, cost of 1 million wheat to the Yemeni people, and this we are thankful to this and grateful to this stand. We know this the ability of Pakistan.
Yeah, but we were hearing, I mean, when this unfortunate war broke out in Yemen, there was a huge discussion in our parliament because the Arab coalition that's now operating in Yemen, they were expecting that Pakistan would send its forces, its troops to Yemen, and that did not happen. Some people think, or some political circles believe, that one of the reasons why Saudi Arabia and Yemen not happy with Pakistan that we did not send our forces there. Is that true?
Well, our foreign minister visited Pakistan, Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Minister in March, and he have been received well. We do appreciate your position. This is your own decision,
right?
Your own circumstances. So we cannot comment on this issue.
Right.
You cannot. But in general, it is still nothing changed between us in bilateral level.
Right. Ambassador, how can Yemen and Pakistan enhance, expand their trade if there is any opportunity between the two countries to expand their trade? What are the prospects and how it could be done?
No doubt the trade has been exchange trade between the two countries has been affected by this the crisis in Yemen, but we are at the embassy, at the official level. We are supporting promoting trade, promoting other activities in Yemen, engineering. It is participating in the development on some projects, and there were some Pakistani companies are working in the oil sector in Yemen and gas. We have, by the way, we have around 300 students studying, most of them on self-finance in Pakistan. And we have a lot of officials graduated from Pakistan, and they are your ambassador there in Yemen. I mean,
right.
I am your ambassador in Yemen because I also studied in Pakistan.
You studied in Pakistan?
I did master only during my previous.
From the Qaidam University?
No, unfortunately, it was from Preston. That is when it started. It is in 2004, 2000. We were a big diplomatic group, a special course in diplomacy.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are opportunities between. We are neighbors actually. Of course, not next door, but we are neighbors indeed, and we are reciprocated. We share each other the commonalities interests, and also the future. We are our stance, political stand, internationally
is identical.
It's very identical.
Yes.
And we are proud of that, and we are proud of the relation with Pakistan.
And when the situation normalizes, hopefully, and we pray that Yemen becomes stable, peaceful very soon, then do you have a roadmap in your mind how to improve the relations, particularly economic and trade relations between Yemen and Pakistan?
I will add to my previous comments, that is, you have 5 Pakistani schools now currently
In Yemen?
running in Yemen.
I see.
Yeah, running. And
They're being run by the government?
no, but it is
Private?
Private.
Okay.
One of them, it is Pakistani, it was semi-government official school,
Right.
run by the Pakistani school, embassy. So there is a lot of opportunities in oil and gas. There is in trade, but trade is upon the it is free trade, so that it depends on the competition, prices and quality, so you cannot control it. But I think Pakistan has had good production, and they can compete with it. It can compete with it. There are a lot of the education in different levels. Pakistan could
establish more institutions there? Yes.
Yeah.
But are there some students from Yemen who are coming to Pakistan and getting their education in Pakistan?
A lot of Yemenis are educated in Pakistan. Some
They
of them
are.
are ministers. Some of them, especially in medical fields. My son is graduated from Pakistan. He's in 2009. We have plenty. Those who study in Pakistan, no doubt, you will be affected by the culture of Pakistan, and they are your ambassadors, and we are proud of that. And we are also proud that is to have an excellent relation with Pakistan. We, on all levels, it is in the official level and or it is on a people's level.
Right. Ambassador, at the conclusion of this interview, the Islamic world in general is suffering a lot. There are crises in Yemen, there's a crisis in Syria, there's a crisis in Iraq, maybe there's a crisis in Lebanon as well. So how to end this crisis, how to end this agony of the Muslims, and how to bring the Islamic world to normalcy and peace and stability?
Well, it's a big issue. I mean, it is before the, unfortunately, Muslim countries and Arab countries especially are facing today. We do understand your sharing and feelings of the situation, like we do. Of course, with education, invest in education, this is doing more efforts in dialogue. Governments being close to each other, try to discuss it thoroughly, and media. If media is agitating, unfortunately, sometimes. If they want to have the breaking news, they don't care about what's behind the breaking news.
Right.
Unfortunately, so it is what is collective efforts should be done by the society, by the government, by the media. Media has a power, a big power.
But Ambassador, you know, the Western world, particularly the Americans, the European, they think that the Islamic countries, all Islamic countries, they are promoting violence, extremism, terrorism, militancy, and so they are defaming Islam by asserting that Islam is the cause of problems, the problems of extremism, problems of radicalization. They all are associated with Islam.
No doubt you have big segment in the West are adopting the Islamophobia, but not all the West, not the Americans, not the. You have enemy. You have the Zionists behind this. Zionists controlling media and money. They are bombing in this. You have enemy. The conflicts here and there also is those who are against you in this conflict. They fuel this using it. It is what it is. the talk of today. So everyone tried to write this talk.
Right, but OIC, the Organization of Islamic Conference, Cooperation, that can play a role in bridging the gaps between the various Islamic countries, but it's not playing that role.
The weakness, it is shared by all the systems. So the media are participating in this weakness. The understanding between the states, sharing this, understand also what's the interest of the nations and collectively. So the scholars are the same. We are going in argument of sectarian arguments sometime, which is, and sometime regional arguments, we shouldn't indulge. So responsibility is by all. So I think messages should be transferred to all, and you are right. We hope that we could realize, come to rationality of the danger of our future.
Ambassador, thank you very much. नाज़रीन, आज इस प्रोग्राम में आपने पाकिस्तान में यमन के सफ़ीर जनाब मोहम्मद मुताहर शाबी से गुफ्तगू सुनी है। उन्होंने यमन के दाखिली मामलात पे बातचीत की और उनका ख्याल है कि यमन में गैर मुल्की मुदाखलत की वजह से हालात बेहतर नहीं हो रहे हैं, इस्तेकाम नहीं आ रहा है, अमन नहीं आ रहा है। उन्होंने पाकिस्तान के किरदार को सराहा है कि पाकिस्तान ने यमन में अमन के क़याम के लिए अपना रोल प्ले किया है। उन्होंने इसकी तारीफ़ की है और पाकिस्तान और यमन के ताल्लुकात के ऊपर उन्होंने कहा कि हमारे बेहतरीन ताल्लुकात हैं पाकिस्तान के साथ, और पाकिस्तानी जो तालीमी इदारे हैं उनमें कई यमनी जो हैं वो तालीम हासिल कर रहे हैं। इस वक्त भी यमन में 5 स्कूल ऐसे हैं जो कि पाकिस्तानी चला रहे हैं। तो एम्बेसडर का ख्याल है कि तालीम के शोबे में दोनों मुल्कों में बहुत बेहतर ताल्लुकात हो सकते हैं। इसी के साथ ये प्रोग्राम ख़त्म होता है। जावेद सिद्दीक को इजाज़त दीजिए। खुदा हाफिज़। Thank you very much. Pleasure. Thank you. Thank you very much.